Hello, and good afternoon. This is the Onealien Show, and I am your host, John O'Neill. Once again, I'm solo. It's just me you got to put up with for the few more minutes, just a few more minutes. We're here, and it is a beautiful day. It is great to be alive, and I am thriving. I'm happy, positive vibes only, no compromise, knowing my value, protecting my energy, all of those things at one time. So I am multitasking today. And let me go ahead and add on to another task, and that is gratitude. I want to thank everybody, all of you, for interacting with the Onealien Show, for listening, for logging on to www.starworldwidenetworks.com. It is a buffet of information for you there on the network. Those of you who know, good friend, old time radio show host, he's a dinosaur, he's ancient. Don't tell him I told you, but it's Dave Pratt. Those of us like me who have been natives in this area, we've heard him way back in the day. I flipped past his channel. Don't tell him, but he was on 98 KUPD. Wasn't quite my genre, but I did know that Dave Pratt was here and prevalent. And so he has launched through the years. I don't even know why I'm talking about him right now, but I am. This is a plug. And he's launched through the years of this beautiful studio that you see me in every day, every show. Every time, the Onealien Show on StarWorldWideNetworks.com, both available in audio and video versions. You never have to miss an update. You never have to miss a show. You never have to miss your favorite content there on Star Worldwide Networks. Listen anytime and any place, because the Onealien Show is there live and in effect. So we're talking about trust. We're talking about trust. I'm still on it. I'm still on it because it's this year. It's this time of my life when trust had to become prevalent. You know that I talked to a couple months ago on July 15th, which is a spectacular day. Mark all your calendars. Make sure you remember July 15th is such a wonderful day. We all should celebrate. And that's my celebration of my birth. I was born on July 15th, 52 cycles ago. And in this time and in this year, it came to me, and it came to me fast, and it came to me how things do come to me. It came to me with a sledgehammer that knocked me in my head and said, what is your problem? Trust in those things that are around you. So let's go in and examine. Let's go in and evaluate. Let's look at the areas of my life. That's what I was told, where I needed to trust more, where I needed to lean on trust and not on my own abilities and my own strengths. And so, man, it's been a whirlwind ever since. You know, Jolea from Whole Harmony Healing came in, wholeharmonyhealing.com, and talked about trusting in myself. She told us and talked to us about how she had learned to trust in herself first and foremost. Before you can trust anything else, you got to trust in yourself. And then that followed up with Princess Jelena, who came in. Princess Lena, near and dear to my heart. And she came in and she just said the same thing, right? Through that conversation, that show was trust in yourself. And I said, okay, daughter. She said, Daddy, trust in yourself. And if you remember my story about the slime, you know, it just reminded me how I needed to trust in the things around me. And first and foremost, to trust in myself. So then last week, if you didn't tune in, go back and you can see in the catalog of shows, there's a whole bunch of them, but lawyer Princess Amina was here, and she went back into trust again, and she talked about friends trusting friends and the importance of that, and she talked about princesses and cats too, but you know, that's beside the point. And we talked about all the stuff, you know, about trust. It keeps coming back to me as I'm asking the universe to show me areas, show me places, show me things that I'm trusting in very well, and I'm keeping that trust intact in other areas where I may not be trusting as much, right? And so, man, it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge. And that's why I'm challenging you to come along with me. I'm challenging you to learn about trust in your own life. I'm challenging you to examine and to look at areas in your life that you may not be trusting, right? You may not be trusting yourself in some of your decisions. I talked about that in a clip. Go to social media, TikTok. I put a clip up and I was talking about trusting the jankiness of yourself. I use myself an example. We looked at a car and sometimes how we mistrust the car because of the starter, the engine, or whatever it is, right? We label it janky. We kind of have some stress and we have some apprehension when we go start that car, right? And I said, that's me. That's me. I got jankiness. Sometimes I don't start on time, and sometimes my engine is clumping, and sometimes there's smoke, not gas, but you know, smoke, right? And sometimes we still gotta trust ourselves. And so what areas do I need to apply more trust? What areas do you need to apply more trust in your life, right? So I go back to the path of the lion. You know that we're all about the path of the lion here. And it's not just a path that you make it through and don't go back to. It's a path that when something comes into your consciousness, when something comes into your spirit and you want to work on it, take out your roadmap, take out your path of the lion and apply it. So that's what I did. I said, okay, trust. And that's what it is. It's trust. At this time and in this season, I got to learn to trust. So let me take out my path of the lion. Let me awaken. Step number one is awaken the lion. Let me awaken the lion in me around the area of trust. That's what I'm taking through the path. Trust, right? And so awakening the lion in me on trust. And we talked about a couple weeks about knowing my value again, trusting myself. I got to know my value. In order to trust myself, I have to know my value, okay? And so we redid that. And that's what I'm working, it's never done, but that's what I'm working on. I'm continuing every day, getting up and trusting and knowing my value and saying, today I'm going to trust myself. Today, what's my saying? Win the day. In order for me to win each and every day, I've got to have trust in myself to make it through, to walk the path and take the steps, to make the right decisions. And so I was knowing my value, I'm able to trust in myself, trust myself more. And listen to those signs, right? Again, back to Jalea and Whole Harmony. Listen to those signs. Sometimes your body, sometimes your spirit, sometimes your energy, sometimes, all the time, most of the time, your own self will tell you what's going on. It'll react to different things. When negative energy comes towards me, I know it immediately because my body reacts to, it's almost like a shock, right? That's negative energy. Block it, stop it. No negative energy. Okay, and so trusting, knowing my value and trusting myself. Then the second part of awakening my lion in the area of trust, okay, on the path of the lion is focus on your vision. Focus on your vision. And so I had to look at that and I had to say, okay, focusing on my vision, how do I apply trust in this time? How do I apply a towel to my head? How do I apply trust, right? As I focus on my vision, first of all, do you have a vision? What is your vision? Where's your vision written down? Who have you told your vision about? Where is your vision? What is your vision? Right? Because we all need a vision. We all need to know the direction we want to go in. We all, unless you are a wanderer, and I don't mean specific destinations, but I mean a person who has no vision, no purpose, and they're just a zombie walking through life. If that's you, then that's cool. Turn us off. You might want to go sit down and continue to do that. But those of us who want to awaken our lion around trust, and those of us who want to apply trust to our vision, then we came to the right place. We came to the right place because that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on. And so that first question came to mind is, where did my vision come from? The things that I have in store for myself, 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, where do those visions come from? Where do your visions, where do you see yourself? What goals you have, where are you going, right? Because you got to trust it. Whatever it is, we have to learn to trust it. So my first question was, where did this vision come from? Because I want to check it. I want to make sure that it truly is my vision. I want to make sure that the vision that I have for myself came from myself, right? And so I had to look and make sure, hey, the things that I want to do, are these competing things, right? Am I looking at someone else or looking at something else? And am I trying to formulate a vision around competition? That's a bad vision. Now, doesn't mean there's not going to be competition in the road to get to your vision, but your specific vision for you shouldn't be built, birthed on, or stand on competing with somebody else, because it has nothing to do with them. It has nothing to do with anybody else or anything else, right? It's your vision that you want to trust in. It's your own vision. Own it. It's yours, right? And so I had to look at my vision and find out, where did that come from, John? That vision that you have for yourself, where did it come from, right? And I had to make sure it's not competing, right? I forgot the saying, but Jefferson's, right? Moving on, it's not competing. My vision is for me. And my vision, the places I want to go, it's in no competition with anybody else, because we all could reach our own goals, right? Hopefully I can help you along on yours. We're not competing. I'm helping, as a matter of fact, right? So my vision for me, as I learn to trust in that vision, my vision is not built on competition. Make sure yours is not built on. is not birthed from competing with somebody or something else, right? Then the other thing I wanted to make sure is that as I learn to trust in my vision, as I learn on the path of the lion, focusing on my vision and trusting it, putting the trust that is needed for that vision to come to pass, right? For that vision to manifest itself. I had to make sure that where are the influences of that vision from? Influences. It's not competing against anybody, but where's the influence coming from? How did I develop that? When the idea came to my mind, when the revelation came, when the vision, and I started writing it down, or I started a vision board, or whatever you do for your visions, right? I'm a visionary. They come quick and they come fast and they're all there. And I got a huge catalog of all types of visions, right? But my vision, what is the influences that caused that birth, right? What was deposited into me? And was it a positive influence, right? Or was it an important influence? Was it a loving influence? Was it a person, place, or thing? Was it something influencing the birth of my vision that is uplifting and is there for me, right? That is there for my vision to come to pass. So what influences does your vision, does your mission, does your purpose, what influences does it come from? Are there any influences, right? Parents, friends, family, those are all external influences and help us shape our vision. So we have to be very cautious and very careful because it doesn't belong to them. It only belongs to me. So I got to trust in it. I got to trust it. The other thing is impression. What type of impressions, right? What is it going to, when I get to my vision, when I get to my goal, when I start reaching my goals, right? When I apply this trust that I'm talking about right now, and I go full force, full speed ahead, when I move progressively forward and forward, when I'm changing, when I'm trying, when I'm digging in, when I'm healing, when I'm doing all the work and the things that I need to do to get to my vision, because it ain't coming too quick, right? What are the impressions? How is that impressing on those around me? Because I want to be a positive influence. One thing about my vision is I never want to get there and be something that I'm not, right? That means it wasn't for me. That wasn't me. That means it wasn't my vision. And I want to trust it. So where does your vision come from? Where does your goals, your aspirations, your dream, where does all that come from? Mine comes from within me. I know it, right? And so some of my visions, as I'm applying trust to it, as I'm leaning on it, I'm saying I'm focused on these visions, zeroed in, laser focus. I'm trusting both my sight, and I'm trusting my feet to get me there, and I'm trusting myself, okay? And so it's not competing against anybody else. It's not negatively influenced. And the impression that I want from my goals and my visions and my journey and my step is to be a positive influence, to uplift you who are listening, to uplift those who I come in contact with, right? Those who I connect to. So that's where my vision came from. It came from within me. It came from an idea, an aspiration. It came from some other things we're getting ready to talk about. But where it did not come from is competing with somebody else's vision. Where it did not come from is external influences that I don't want part of my vision. Where it did not come from is an end result that causes an impression on those who see me fulfilling my vision not to be a representative of who I am. That's my vision. That's where my vision comes from, right? Where does your vision come from? Make sure it's on solid ground because you got to trust in it. And if it's on competition, and if it's on other people's influence and not your own, and if it's on not knowing the impression or the results or the outcomes that you want from your vision, if it's on, then that's shaky ground. You're going to have a problem. That might be why you have a problem fully trusting it today, right? Because it didn't come from all the way inside of you. You don't own it. You don't know it. So where does your vision, where does my visions for myself come from? And then how do I apply this trust to it? The second thing that I looked at is when I analyzed where it came from, and I was okay with where it came from, the true place, the origin of it. Then the second thing is, how am I uniquely equipped to come to bring that vision into my life, right? How am I uniquely equipped? How are you uniquely equipped? Say that 10 times real fast. Uniquely equipped, right? How are you uniquely equipped, says my lips trying to get it out, to have your vision come to pass? Because we have to assess our own abilities. We have to look at our gifts and our abilities. I have gifts and abilities. I'm overflowing with them, and so are you. You have gifts and abilities that are different than mine. Some of us have similar kindred spirits is what I call it. Some of us have gifts and abilities that we share, certainly, but they're still unique to us because nobody on planet Earth could do anything that John O'Neill does like John O'Neill. Amen. I almost said amen. I don't know if we're in church or where we're at, but that's the truth, baby. So you have your own gifts and abilities. No one can do it like you. You are uniquely made and designed. There's never been anybody like you. There never will be anybody like you again. So rest in that, embrace that. Oh my gosh, you are an awesome individual. And so those uniquely equipped gifts and abilities is what we want to make sure that our vision is attached to. Our vision is attached to our gifts and our abilities, things that come natural to us. There's a lot of things that I've learned and I know how to do, but that's not a natural gift and ability of mine, right? Just because you are capable of doing, just because you may be competent at doing it, just because you may even have the education of being expert at whatever it is, at something that you do, right? Does not mean that is part of your future vision. That does not mean that may not be part of where your destination that you want to go to. That may not be, you may be doing something that isn't really fulfilling all of your gifts and your abilities. So in order for me to trust in my vision, I had to make sure that I understood, that I knew, that I was convinced of my uniquely equipped self, of my unique gifts and abilities. Right? Trust in your vision because of your unique gifts and abilities. It's just yours. It's just you. And that's again why our vision are ourselves, because the puzzle pieces that it makes to create the vision that we've each been given for ourselves and only for ourselves, right? The puzzle pieces are created and made from ourselves, from our own abilities, from our own gifts, from our own heart, our own love, and from ourselves, our own self, right? So I got to trust in that. I got to trust that the unique way that I'm designed and that I've been gifted and the abilities that I have are enough to come into my vision. Right? Trusting. What are you uniquely equipped for, right? Where did it come from? What are you uniquely equipped for? All of this is leading us to our vision that we want to trust in more. I know it's coming. I believe it's coming, but I got to trust it every day because some days I get up and it may not be coming fast enough. And so I try to do something in my own ability to make it come, right? Or I may get up and I question it, or I have doubts. Sometimes we have doubts, right? Sometimes we have fears that stop us from our vision. Sometimes we have all these things that we could have to intervene in our progress. If you ever want to go to a phenomenal place that has a bunch of vendors, okay, go to Retail Therapy AZ. They're one of my friends. They're one of our sponsors. They have beautiful stores with a whole bunch of local Arizona vendors, all types of stuff. So I asked the question, what about it? What about my vision am I uniquely equipped for? And I answered that question for myself. Then I asked, what did you need to add? What do I need to add? What do I need to grow into it? Is there anything that I need to build around me? Is there anything that even with my gifts and abilities, is there additional information that I need? Is there additional equipment that I need? What do I need to do to get to that vision, right? If you have a vision to live outside, to live abroad, perhaps, okay? You have a vision to live abroad. Well, you may have all the gifts and abilities in order to live abroad, in order to last, in order to make it, in order to survive. Some of us who have just lived here, we don't know the first thing about living abroad. You may have that, but you got to get some knowledge. How do you move? What does the finances look like? What do you need to prepare for? Where are you going to go? What does it look like there? Where are you going to go visit? Who are you going to talk to when you get there, right? Those are all the things. What do you need to add? What do you need to grow into? What do you need to build around you? Do you need to take some classes? Do you need to do some continued education? Do you need to do some skill practice? Okay, if I want to continue to write poetry books, there's some things I got to do differently. I read Sidewalk Square Counting authored by John O'Neill that's available on Amazon, and you can go get it today. I read it, and there's some things that I want to do different. There's some skills that I have all the gifts and abilities to continue to produce. Because that's part of my vision, by the way, to become a multi-book author. And just because the one came out, there's more skills, there's more practice that I want to do, that I see for my vision to come to full fruition. So what else? The other thing is you got to have help around you. It is your vision. It is your goal. It is the steps that you have to take. Okay? And no one can deter you from that. No negative influence, no negative vibes, no naysayers, no doubts. I don't need it from anybody else. I got plenty of it for myself, right? All of those things. So what help do you have around you? Because that's going to help you trust your vision, right? Part of my vision professionally was to build something significant. And I told you about needing help, of surrounding myself with Avengers so that I could trust that this vision is going to continue to move forward. So I could trust that, right? I can't do it all of myself. It may be my vision. And sometimes the people around me who are helping remind me, hey, John, this is your vision. We're here to help you, sir. We care about you so much. We're here to help you. So who do you have around you to help you genuinely, sincerely, with your best interest in mind? Who do you have around to help you with your vision? So I had to ask, what do I need to add? What do I need to grow into? What do I need to build around me to have my vision? Because I want to trust in it. I want to trust in it more. And the answer came. There may be some classes you need to take. There may be some conversations you have to have with a mentor. There may be some counseling that you got to do in order to get some things organized inside of your mind. There may be some skills that you need to practice. There may be some help that you have to find, help that you have to ask for. Ask for it. Put it out there. Write it down. I need help. I need someone who knows how to do this. And just think on it every day. I have a vision. In order for my vision to come, I need help with this area right here. And wait and watch and see what happens. Because 9 out of 10 times, if you're in the right place, and if you're walking the right path, and if you're focused on the right thing, that help just comes. I found that the help just comes out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. All types of people came to help me with my visions. And I'm so grateful for it. So grateful for it. So what else am I asking? I'm asking, where did it come from, all right? I'm asking, am I unique? I'm acknowledging that I'm uniquely equipped for this vision. I'm asking, what other things do I need to add to it as I grow and as I move down this path? What other things do I need to put around me? What help do I need to make it to the goal, to the ending, to the outcome, to the vision? And then I had to ask another question. I had to make sure, oh my goodness, this is important. Before you even embark, I had to ask, does my vision align with my passion? Does it align with the things that I'm passionate about? Because passion is where your heart is. And passion is what gets me going every day. Passion is what keeps me motivated and inspired. Passion is what gets me excited. I ask people all the time. I have conversations, especially when I'm hiring people, right? One of my hiring questions is, what are you passionate about? And I talk to people all the time. What are you passionate about? If you had something to do tomorrow morning, what would keep you up tonight like you were a 9-year-old on Christmas Eve, right? And so the things that I'm passionate about is what I want to make sure my vision aligns with. What are you passionate about? If you're passionate about painting, I certainly hope your vision, whatever it is, has something to do with painting. Because I've learned that the things that I'm passionate about is what I'm going to get up and go and get. The things that I'm passionate about is what I'm excited that I can do naturally. The things that I'm passionate about talking to people, if you haven't noticed, because I'm here every freaking week talking to you. I love it. It's part of my passion. Right? So my vision, obviously, in 3 to 5 to 10 to 20, my vision obviously has something to do with John O'Neill's voice being projected out to the planet Earth and further. Part of my passion. What are you passionate about? Because in order for us to trust that vision, in order for me to trust the visions that I have in 5 years for myself, I have to know that what I'm passionate about, there has to be something to do with speaking. There has to be something to do with teaching. There has to be something to do with educating. There has to be something to do with positively influence other people. It has to be something to do with positive impact. It has to be something to do with what I'm passionate about in my heart, and that is helping people, right? That's got to be. So I asked, does my vision align with my passion? My answer was yes. Because the old saying, follow your heart, right? I follow my heart, and my heart is for people. So that's what my passion, that's what my vision is aligned with. I ask myself, what motivates me, right? Again, what motivates you? What inspires you? And that is what you put your trust in. Man, it's easy for me to trust my passion. It's less easy for me to trust things that I don't really want to do, right? And if your vision is built on something that you really don't want to do, then we got to go all the way back to step -1 because there's a problem. What are you passionate about? Write down your passions today. Write down things that you get excited about. Write down things that you're equipped for. Write down things that write down things that people in your life have said, man, you do that so well, right? I've been called all types of stuff. All types of things. Liquid fire. I've been called, I can't even think of it anymore. I've been called all types of things in my life. Positive, uplifting things, and things that align, things that reminded me that I was in a place that I was exercising my passion. Because those comments, when they come in, that's all they're really talking about. They're just talking about, John, when you get in that space, the passion that comes out of you is intoxicating. It's what do you do when you pass something to somebody else? It's all of those things. Passing on to somebody else. Come on, what's that word? Somebody on my social medias, let me know. I just can't think of it. It's contagious. Thank you very much. Goodness gracious. I got to trust in my mind to bring me that word. Yes. Passion is contagious. Don't you know that? When you're passionate about something, everybody in your environment feels it. Everybody around you feels it. So find what you're passionate about and create your vision around that. That's simple. What does my current visions align with my passions? Oh my goodness. My answer was yes. I'm following my heart. I love to do the things that I do. I have, oh my goodness, I have been so fortunate to build things around my life of things that I love to do. I get up in the morning, I love to do it. Remember, we talked about don't live a dread-free life. I do not live a dread-free life. I don't dread. I can't think of anything that I dread. Right? Because I'm passionate. I'm passionate about life itself. I'm passionate about influence. I'm passionate about I'm passionate about illuminating my light. I'm passionate about helping people. So that's a question you're asking yourself. Does my vision align with my passion? For me, it is a yes. And then, oh my goodness. And then it comes the last question that I had to answer myself before I was all in, right? If you're like me, you're either 0 or 100. And once something logically makes sense, once I line something out, once I write it down and I look at it, once I know it, not just believe it, but know it. Believing is in something you don't know. Once I know it, baby, I'm all in. I'm all in. And so I asked my question, what is your incentive? Why? Why do you have that vision for yourself? What is your incentive? And I'm asking everybody out there today, what is your incentive? What is your why? Why do you have that goal in your life? Why do you want to be where you want to be in 3 years and 5 years? Why? Why do you want to be where you want to be in 2024? What are you doing to prepare for it in this last half of 2023? In the last quarter, my goodness, we're past the half, right? And so I had to ask, what are my incentives, right? And the first one follows the previous one. I want to make sure that my vision satisfies my passion. Otherwise, I'm going to be in unrest. Otherwise, I'm not going to be happy. I am most happy when I'm doing things that I'm passionate about. And I'm most passionate about when I'm doing things that I'm happy about. Either way, flip-flop them, passion and happy, me, right? So I had to make sure that my vision, that the things, the goals, the vision that I had for myself satisfied my passion. I just defined what I was passionate about. So I had to make sure that my vision satisfies that. Otherwise, I'm going to be thirsty. My passion is not going to be quenched. My passion is still going to be burning without any lumber. I don't even know if that makes sense, but you get it, right? I had to satisfy my passion. And the other thing that I wanted to make sure is, does my vision, the incentives, the why, does it create freedom? Oh my goodness, because that's what I'm looking for. If you're not looking for freedom, cool. But I'm looking for freedom in my mind and in my spirit and in my soul and in my heart and in my body and in my life, right? And so financially and socially, in all the different areas of my life, I want freedom. I want freedom to flow. I want freedom to be just myself. I want freedom to exercise my passions and to help people. I want the freedom. And so does my vision create the outcome that I want? For me, it's freedom. Does your vision create the outcomes? Does your vision satisfy your passion and create the outcomes? Does your vision, part of those outcomes, what is the outcome? My outcome is to impact others. I just talked about it. My other outcome is to build a legacy. Oh my goodness. Everything that I do every day is to build a legacy. The whole, I have a poem where I talk about my last name, Oneal, right? As being the first person. Don't worry about why, or read the poem if you want to know why. But I'm building a legacy. I'm the first to do it in my family. I'm the first to do it. I'm the king. I have princes and princesses. I have family. I have people around me that depend on me, right? And it's generations upon generations, because my background isn't too legacy minded. That's a great way to put it. My background isn't too legacy minded, okay? As far as things that were built. Okay, and so I'm the first one to do. I wanted to stop the cycle. I wanted to create something new. I wanted to create a legacy. I want generations after me to feel my work. I didn't say be set up. I didn't say be gazillion. I didn't say none of that. I said to feel my work. I want them to know that Papa John, back in 2023, was killing it on the Onealien Show. Right? So legacy, does my vision satisfy my passion? Does it create the outcomes that I want? Freedom in impacting others and building a legacy. Is it on a solid foundation? That's what I ask myself about my vision, because I need to trust it, right? We're working on trust. Again, we're working on trust. I'm asking you, what are the things in your life do you need to put more trust in? What vision do you have for yourself? And once you have that vision, we're looking at the path of the lion and we're focusing on that vision. And as we focus on that vision and put more and more trust in it, we just reassure ourselves with a few questions. Where did it come from? It came from a great place. Check, trust it. What about it am I uniquely equipped for? Oh my gosh, I got all gifts and abilities that will be used in this vision. Check, trust it. What do you need to add or grow into or build around you? Build the people around me, build practices and skills, and right? Check, trust it, right? Does it align with my passion, the things that I'm passionate about? Yes, it does. Check, trust it. What is my incentives? Why do I want this? What are the outcomes I'm looking for? Does it satisfy my passion? Yes, it does. Check and trust it. So as you could tell, I'm excited today because I have applied the path of the lion to something that I'm working on, which is trusting more, trusting things more. Trust myself. You need to trust yourself. Trust ourselves in the process. Trust ourselves to reach that vision. Once we've answered the questions, then let's go all in on that vision. We know it comes from the right place. We know we're equipped. We know what we got to do to get there. We know it aligns with our passion. We know the outcomes that will come from it. So let's trust it and get to it. There's no compromise. I told you that before. I know what my vision is, and I'm not compromising about it. Nobody, no naysayer, nobody's going to distract me, detract me, nobody, right? That's my vision. In your opinion, quite honestly, is not necessary. So there's no compromise. I'm determined and I'm fueled by the passion within me. I'm guided by my gifts, determined by passion, guided by gifts to your vision. And that allows me to trust because it's all mine. It allows me to trust in my 52nd year in the visions that I have. It allows me to awaken the lion within me, to apply the trust and to forge forward, determined, passionate, right? Uncompromising, unapologetically. Find your vision, answer these questions, and then move into it unapologetically, determined, passionate, and put all the trust you have in your own vision, just like I am. I'm John O'Neal. We're trusting our visions, and I will see you next time, baby. I'm excited. We're going to be here, and we're going to give you more and more. It's trusting. It's the season of trust, and it's the season of visions coming to pass. We'll see you next time.